Hey, what is up? What's going on, guys? Joe here, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. You know what? Some pretty cool stuff just came in today. Been kind of waiting on this. I got an email not too far back from a company asking me if I would be interested in checking out one of their products. And I saw one at the motorcycle show in Dallas, Fort Worth, and I thought it was really, really cool. I personally was like, yeah, I'm on board. You know, I'm not some tester junkie or anything like that, you know, or sponsored by 50,000 people, but this is really, really pretty cool. Yeah, this box right here, Miss 690 basically told me, yeah, just got here today. This is VSys Technologies. It is a motorcycle DVR in that box. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an unboxing, and then we're going to install it onto the bike. Then we're going to shoot some film with it and put that up on screen to let you see what it looks like. And then I'm going to tell you how difficult or undifficult it was to put on and who I think it's for. Stick around. We're going to get into it. As I said, put this out here. So we're going to open it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to see exactly what is in this motorcycle DVR system. This was given to me to try it out and see how it's going to do on the bike. We're going to see how it works on the 690. That should be interesting since there is literally not much room under the seat to do any of the electronics. So if we can get it to work on that, you can get it to work on any adventure bike. We're talking BMW 1200s, 800s, 1000s, whatever bike that you have. I could really see one of these on definitely the bigger adventure bikes, maybe the smaller enduro type dual sport bikes. I don't know, but if you're doing motovlogging, this should be pretty cool. So, unboxing, what do we have? Oh yeah, bullet cams. Nice. See that right there, bullet cam. They are labeled. I'm half blind, so don't worry about that. This is the front camera. This is the rear. It's nice. They're not very big if you look at that right there. They do have the two-sided 3M tape, which is really nice. And then they have two holes in there in case you want to bolt it down. Or if not, which I'm not going to do, I'm just going to use the two-sided tape on mine, reinforce it if I have to. But very cool. These, they're not very big. They're actually really, really small. Very cool. It's right here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, TFT display. Very, very nice. Not very big. It looks like it's no more than about 3 inches long by maybe 2 inches tall. Looks like it's got speakers on the top and speakers on the bottom. All the different connectors. You know that's going to wire down underneath into the battery. That is a threaded hole. That's probably going to be for the mount. And SD. I know that this should hold a 128 gigabyte SD card, which is very cool. Looks like back and forth and a menu button right there so you can jog dial through. I do know that this is 1080p at 30 frames per second, so it's not going to shoot 60, but that's okay. You're still going to get really, really good footage out of this on the bike. Underneath. Alright, yeah. Instructions. Who uses those? Alright. As it shows on there, looks like a makeshift ballistic case. I don't know if I would trust that, but it's better than not having anything at all. I do know that the unit is IP68 rated, which basically means that it is water resistant. It'll be able to handle everything in the rain. I would not submerge this. And also, just to note, it looks like a GoPro fitting, but it definitely looks fatter on those connectors. Where there's a will, there's a way. I bet we can get this to work with a ram mount. Cables. Yes, these are basically the wiring cables for the cameras. There's one. Pass it over here. Oh, cool. This right here is a auto, basically a manual, so that you can basically turn it on and off. It looks like, yes, we've got a still camera and a record button. Very cool. Can mount that up on the handlebar. Should be very, very cool. Power connectors. It's a little bigger than I thought it would be. Because everybody knows the 690 Enduro R, not a whole lot of room underneath the seat, so we'll do the best we can. We're going to make it work, trust me, 100%. This looks like, yeah, this is the main console plug-in right there. This is probably for like the power for the jog dial to the cameras, all that good stuff there. Looks like we got a USB to a who knows what in the heck this is. We'll find that out in the book. This is the mounting for the ballistic case, it looks like, so that it also has a locking nut that screws into the bottom of the camera if you just want to go straight up. Adjustable 3M tip, like I said, pretty good. They didn't skimp on that. That's very nice. Zip ties, I have thousands of them. You know I love them. That's pretty much it, man. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically take this, we're going to mount it on the 690R, we're going to tuck it up the best we can, we're going to record it, it's going to be live, but we're probably going to have to speed it up because I don't know how long it's going to take. I know you're not going to want to watch a 2-hour video trying to put this in, so we'll do the best we can, but we'll put it down in the description and we'll make it to where we'll tell you exactly how long it truly took and show you how simple or difficult. Hey guys, what's up? I'm back. We just did the unboxing, so you saw the stuff that comes in the Motorcycle DVR, and what we've done is we have taken the seat off of the KTM 690, and I'm going to kind of show you everything. What I have found out is that the KTM 690 is, everything is so super tight. I think I could get it to work. I really have to dig in to make it actually be seamless by burying all the wires and everything, because there are some wires, and it's really good wire, by the way. It's nice and thick, so definitely your larger adventure bikes and stuff, this is really going to be a super cool setup for those bikes. You could make it work for sure on this, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick setup on this, fire it up, let you see the video footage of it, and then I'm going to basically tell you exactly really who I think it's for and what it would be good for. So let's look at the 690. And like I said, we have the seat off. This is the main unit itself right here. It is a TFT LCD. The wires, everything is color coded. Very simple. That is a smart power adapter, and really neat. If you dig into that, what that is, after it charges up, it will sense vibration, motion, and all that stuff once it's connected to your battery terminals. And if your bike moves or anything like that, there is settings in that TFT for 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, I think 7 and 10 minutes or something like that. And that's how long it'll record the front and the rear. And it has high definition video, and it's actually, we did a little mini test before we shot this, and it's really, it's nice and pretty. But like I said, everything is pretty much color coded. I've got them taped down the camera here, and then I ran it through, and then I did the front camera, bullet camera as well. And what I noticed is on the KTM, there's just not a whole lot of room underneath here, so I'd really have to dig in and go underneath. And I would estimate if I was going to do an install on the 690, probably 30 or 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm pretty meticulous on how I do my setup on everything. This yellow wire, by the way, just to let you know, that is to the ignition on, so that way when you flip the ignition on, it sends power to this directly so that you it'll power up the unit for you automatically. I don't think it has to be used. I'll dig in a little bit more. I'll put it down in the description. All right, I'm going to put the camera in our tripod. And with it being in the tripod, I'm going to kind of position it just so you can see everything. Now, the one thing that this did come with is it comes with this little USB cable, and I couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time because I was trying to fire everything off from the battery. I have it basically attached to the terminals, but this is a testing wire. So, and they're waterproof. They're very cool, and they're basically, everything's color coded. So this actually goes red to the power, and it's got another plug on the other side. But if you plug this into here, it only goes in one way. And then you plug this into a USB wall charger. It is plugged into the wall. It powers up. And when it powers up, you basically get the display for the front camera or the rear camera, or you can do a small split screen to where it's small in the rear but bigger in the front. So you can use this as like a rear view camera or something like that. Really kind of neat if you're riding down the road, you want to know who's up on you. And also not only that, you can record front and rear, so an F and an R. Very neat. That's kind of cool. This right here is your record and still shots if you want to do that. Very neat. One thing I will suggest, as testing this with the SD recorder on it, you want to let this unit do the format of the disc. Don't format it yourself. Format it directly onto here, and we're going to do a walkthrough of the screen and all the different settings and stuff on this. But definitely let this do it, because if you don't, you will get a lot of flickering and interference for some odd reason I don't know on the actual recording portion of your video. So definitely keep that in mind. Alright, the TFT screen is lit up. It's actually showing the camera in the front. That is the front facing camera. It would be the one that is on the front fender. And with one push, it will basically show you that the SD card is not inserted because I don't have one. But you can also, if you long push the middle jog dial, it brings you to the menu screen. For the menu screen, you have these up and down jog dials, and the center one is the actual input. That actually is the enter button to tell you what you want to do. If you look over here, if I go down one, and then hit the center button, there's no files, but you can actually go in there and you can look at your files and play them back directly onto the on this screen while it's on your bike. If you long press, it's about 3 seconds. It'll take you back one. Jog over. This takes you to the settings. Right there, it shows you your video resolution, video clip time. That's basically if it gets moved. You can record sound. I wasn't very impressed. I'm going to be honest with you. I have it turned off at the moment. You can have it with beeps or no beeps. Set your clock settings, date format, flicker. That's basically your hertz rate. LCD power save at 1 minute. Protection level, that's basically if the bike gets moved or shake when it's doing its safety level. GPS status, you can hook up a GPS receiver to this and it'll actually track your whatever, like your locations and ride and all that type stuff if you want it. That's something you can buy separately from what I understand. Your time zone, you find out what that is. And then you can reset setup. Wi-Fi mode, there's actually Wi-Fi. You can actually connect your phone to this and view a lot of the stuff on there. Right there is the format SD. So when you put your SD card in there, that's where you're going to want to go and format that with this box itself. So that way you get a good clean format for this system right here so it does recording. And trust me, there is a difference. SD card info of what you have, firmware edition. If you need to update the firmware, long press till it takes you out. Then you can go into here. It's a little hand with ABC. That's basically for what language you want. One click back there takes me to the front screen. Now if I jog up or down will dictate how my cameras show up. There's the rear facing camera. That is 720p, just to let you know. It does not do 1080p. Only the front facing camera does 1080p. There is the front. There is the rear. There is mainly the front and a little bitty small subscreen of the rear, and then you can just pick basically between that. So you can either go the front only on the bullet camera, or you can go to the rear bullet camera, or you can split between the two on screen if you want to. So basically on the 690, if you look, there's not a whole lot of room. I'd have to be shoving and tucking and all that stuff. It's just going to take quite a bit of while, and I don't want to do a 30-minute video because I don't want you guys to get disinterested. But the one thing is I will tell you this, the picture is crisp. Once we get done with this, I'm going to shoot some video. I'm going to put it on screen and let you see exactly what video resolution this shoots at. It's actually very pretty. I've got the front shooting at 1080p at 30 frames per second, and the rear shoots at 720p at 30 frames per second. But if you want, you can change those settings in there, and you can set it at 720p if you want to at 30 or 60 frames per second. So if you're doing a moto vlog, you can get some pretty cool captured pictures on that, or video. Like I said, everything is color coded. yellow on yellow, blue on blue, red on red. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. So, and you can't get the front or the rear messed up because it actually has these, I think it's a 4 or 5 pin for your front facing camera. That only goes on the front, and the rear is a push plug-in. So other than that, let's get some video of this, let you guys kind of see what the footage looks like, and then what we'll do is we'll get in, we'll show you what the price is, and we're going to get a discount code for you guys. And I tell you what, so far I'm pretty impressed. I think you'll be impressed too.
Alright guys, now you can see the actual, this is real video footage from the actual system itself. As you can tell, this is shot at 1080p at 30 frames per second. It's really pretty clean. It does a very, very good job. If you're moto vlogging or anything like that, it's definitely, it's great quality. I mean, you can't beat it. I mean, for a motorcycle DVR, not only that, like I said, you know, it's also a protection too, so it will record if your bike is move or shake or anything like that. So that's your front-facing camera. This is the rear-facing camera. It's at 720p at 30 frames per second, and it does a pretty good job too. I mean, as a rear view camera, I think it's really pretty fantastic. I mean, it does a great shot, and I just don't think that you could go wrong with the camera itself. And it's a really, really good camera, and it's not that difficult to install. Now, for your smaller enduro bikes, like your CRF 250s, 450s, the KTM 500s, 690s, things like that, might be a little difficult. I'm not saying you can't do it. I definitely think you can get it done. You're just going to have to put a little time into that, and you're going to have to work it to get it installed. Now, the bigger bikes, Ducatis, BMWs, KTM 1090s and up, any of the bigger bikes, the V-Stroms, where you have a whole lot more room, this really is probably what that's geared for. Your Harleys, any of your bigger street bikes, it's really pretty cool. And if you want to get into moto vlogging and want that really cool shot, I think this is going to be a fantastic camera system for you. Not only that, it records both front and rear simultaneously. It does a really, really good job. It's not that hard to set up, and at the price, you can't beat it. It's about $170 for the system they sent me. We've got coupons down below, and you can pick them up. And when those coupons are gone, they are gone. So make sure you pick one up. And if we run out of coupons, I'll do my best to go back to the manufacturer and get some more if you guys want one. But I think you definitely could not go wrong with something like that, and it would be a great hardwired system for moto vlogging if you're getting into that and you just want some good shots. Other than that, it's really cool. The Motorcycle DVR system from VSys Technologies, it's very cool, and it's less expensive than some of the other brands that are out there, and I just don't see how they're any better than this one. This looks every bit as good as the one I saw at the motorcycle show in Dallas, Texas, and it's $100 cheaper. So anyway, with that being said, hey, check it out. If you want one, down in the description, pick up a coupon code, get yourself one today. We appreciate you. 690 out.